Sprinter bound? Time to wake up in Provincetown.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Wake Up in Provincetown. We have to start the show off with a little bit of a down note. Our community is still reeling from the loss of a good friend of ours, Eric Maul, who apparently passed away in the last couple of days. You guys might remember Eric from Sharks Creek. He traveled, he toured with that show. He was in it here. He played Alexis.
Nailed Alexis.
Played the flute professionally and walked dogs professionally and was just an all-around really friendly, sweet guy that we are very sad to say is no longer with us.
As the news started spreading, it like the common thing out of everyone's mouth is like, oh my God, I just saw him. And that is just a testament to what a member of the community he was. He would always run into him on Commercial Street, whether he was barking for a show. My heart goes out to all the people that have performed with him in the past. I know how close you get with performers, and having barked all summer on Commercial Street with my castmates in the Devil Wears Payless, I really know how close you get and how much you learn about a person when you spend 10 hours a week on the street interacting with 200 people a night. You see the best of a person, you see the worst of a person. You hear them say, come see Sharks Creek tonight at 10 o'clock, no less than 300 times a day. And you see what they do to fill in the gaps in between to keep themselves from going crazy. So my heart definitely goes out to Jamie and Jonathan and Sam and the cast of Sharks Creek. I know how close you get, and I know how tough it is to lose someone like that you're so close with.
So, you know, Eric also always had a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's a lot going on in everyone's life that nobody else knows about. So, you know, reach out to your friends and tell them you love them, even if it seems like they're doing fine. That's all.
Especially this time of year, especially in Provincetown, the energy shifts, and that is a challenge for so many people.
Yeah, it's been kind of like a really changey fall.
Yeah. How was your fall going?
Changey. No kidding. Mine's fine. It's okay. I had another really like deeply personal loss earlier in the week, and so that it's just been a really, really awful week in general. I'm trying not to like just cry for an hour and bore you all to tears with my tears, but it's been a really hard time. And now that we know that we're trapped here forever, it's only going to get harder.
I know.
Let's talk about the news for a second.
Yeah. So this past week, we all found out that Cape Air will be dropping 6 months of Provincetown flights over the winter. I know I wasn't a person. I've never flown.
Never?
No, I can't do that.
It was fun.
I know. I get very stressed out even on commercial flights, like big jets. So I can't imagine flying one of those. But I know it's worrisome when it seems like so many ways to get here in the winter are going away. A few years ago, the ferry services slowed down their services. I think some of them are gearing back up. I think Bay State is going through Holly Folly this year, maybe.
Oh, wow. That's great.
That might not be real. No.
Oh, that's fake news.
Through November.
First week of November.
First week of November.
I'll take it.
I feel like they used to go longer when I first got here.
No, am I lying? Just kidding. Bus service, ever since that, it used to be a local bus company that ran bus service, and then Peter Pan took it over. And ever since then, I'm not blaming anyone, but it just seems like the buses have gotten less reliable. They're canceling different routes, different times, and it just is worrisome when it seemingly is becoming harder and harder to get to Provincetown in the off season.
When they first did that, Peter Pan said, "You can fly," and now you can't even fly. You can't get here anywhere that you want to get here in the off season. Just drive or walk or hitchhike.
Yeah,
Hitchhiking is safe.
it's also it's
Just like John Waters did it.
it's also frustrating because the winter is a time that it's more affordable for people, and now there's no options to get here. And I know it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg, and the reason it's more affordable because not as many people are here. But then if not, people aren't able to get here, and then there's even less people, and then it becomes even though it's affordable, it becomes like it's tough to want to be here.
Yeah, there was a friend of mine sitting at the bar the other day who has, in the last couple of years, moved to Puerto Rico. And I was like, well, who flies on Cape Air in the winter anyway? He goes, me. He was like, that's how I would get here if I wanted to come in a month like December. He goes, now somebody who's already flying just to get to Boston,
Then
it's much, much harder to even want to now.
because you can't even get on the ferry.
Right. So I'm like, well, yeah. So I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because I was not somebody who ever took it in the winter. Like I've flown on those station wagons in the air. It's like 6 chairs. It's fun to sit next to the pilot because you can feel all the machinery moving against your knee. Like when he goes like this, something moves, and you're like, I feel like
you shouldn't be touching that part. Yeah, it's just worrisome because now I guess the only way to get here in the winter is to drive.
Yep.
Which, if you're not within driving distance, are you really going to go through the hassle of flying to Boston and then renting a car?
Right.
I don't know if it's within their purview, but I know the select board is talking about it, and they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. It's also, the town can't solve all these problems. A lot of the problems are with
The free market. Yay, capitalism.
It's up to businesses that want or don't want to provide these services, unfortunately.
Right.
And I guess that it's turned out that it's not profitable enough for Cape Air and
The bus lines do get subsidies from either the town or the state.
One of them.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Is the one.
they also get a subsidy from their peanut butter branch of their company.
Is it the same? Like
No,
Dove, the
no.
chocolate and the
I
deodorant?
don't think so.
No.
The chocolate and deodorant. Oh my God.
But drive to P-Town and see us this winter.
Yeah. Hey, it's still like insanely busy right
And
now.
also insanely warm. Yesterday was like a beach day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you work or
Yesterday, no, I did not.
you went to the beach?
I did go to the beach.
Oh no way! That's awesome.
Yeah.
How was
And
it?
2 days before that, I did the bike trail for the first time in a long time, and I jumped in at Race Point,
Damn.
like all the way in.
The water's probably still a little warm.
I wouldn't use that word. It was bracing, refreshing. I was in for no
Brisk.
longer than 6 seconds, but I did go all the way in. And I only went as far as I could see because, got to be careful these days. But nobody else was in. There were the beach was really, really busy. There were actually a lot of people at Race Point 3 days ago, but nobody was in the water.
75 in September really does feel different than 75 in August.
Mhm.
What is that?
The humidity. 75 in August feels like 98.
I loved it.
And now it feels so beautiful.
Yeah, I
To
actually,
me.
I know last week I said I did nothing because my roommate was out of town. But my roommate left again last night, but I'm going to try and keep the energy up and do stuff rather than just sitting on my couch. But this past week, I did see a ton of shows.
Like what?
I saw Edie, the Entertainer, on Saturday night. Such a good show, so fun. I actually went to the show in drag because later that night I hosted summer camp with Jonathan Joseph Peters over at the post office, which was so much fun. It was a star-studded event. The whole cast of Devil Wears Payless was there. Edie, a few of the Illusion girlies, Owine from Grindr Help Desk, which runs for another month. Who else? Tammy, Sam.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That
I was
sounds like a lot of fun.
I had never gone to summer camp before, and Jonathan does such a good job. He just keeps the audience entertained for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, just doing stuff, games.
This is on Saturdays?
Yeah,
How long is he going to do this for?
I think through the end of October.
I need things to go until the end of November.
We'll see. Well, if people go through October, I'm sure he'll extend it to November. He's year round.
Okay. What else did you see?
Well, also that night, we played things like Gay Spelling Bee. And the best part was they pulled people up from the audience. And Gay Spelling Bee was mostly like words like chlamydia and things like that. And this one guy kept winning. And then we realized that he was a doctor. So they were like, okay, your next word, doily. And then he didn't know how to spell doily.
He didn't know how to spell doily?
No. I wasn't sure. How do you spell doily?
D-oily?
Sure.
D-O-I-L-I-E?
No.
What is it?
D-O-I-L-Y.
What?
Yeah.
Doilies would be
Oh.
I've never seen the singular form of doilies before.
Taffeta? That was another one.
T-A-F-F-E-T-A?
I think that is
Are there
correct.
2 T's at the end?
I don't know.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, but this is why Gay Spelling Bee was so fun. But it was a really fun night. Go hang out. Yeah, it was a riot. I think this week it is Kira Stone co-hosting with Jonathan Joseph Peters, who was in the audience last week.
Oh.
Yeah. I also saw the final show of Rocky Horror Picture Show this past Sunday. It was incredible.
Was that your first time?
Yeah. I was a little bummed because I would have loved to see it with both Jordan and Mackenzie, but Mackenzie was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I kept having to remind myself that she was put in that week.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely incredible, mind-blowing. There was never a moment where she seemed shaky to the point where I was like, oh, right, she got put in. It just felt like she was right there with the whole cast. One of the best casts of a production I've ever seen. Everyone was amazing, and no one stood out as being better or worse than anyone else. And everyone just did their role really well. It was a really phenomenal show. And I usually don't like shows in the round, and that one worked really well. I feel like often shows are in the round, and I just feel like I'm watching everyone's back, but that wasn't the case. Great job. Did you see it?
I did not get to it.
Bummer.
I know I missed a couple of things that I really, really wanted to see this year. That was one of them. I did see Tina Burner's final show.
No way. How was that?
Incredible.
Yeah.
So good. Have you seen her?
No.
It's a great show.
I imagine she sings really amazingly and is mean to people.
She's not mean.
Not mean, but drag queen mean.
And it is probably the best lip syncing I've ever seen.
No way.
Yeah, it's mind-blowingly good. And the numbers are, there's those lip sync song numbers where they intersperse bits of dialogue from movies. She's just doing that better than anybody else.
Someone told me about one of them that sounded really funny. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah.
I'm bummed I missed that.
Because you've seen a lot of people probably do a lot of Mommy Dearest.
Oh yeah.
She does. It's like a new, it's new. It's like if you're seeing it for the first time. I loved it.
I think Tina will be back with her Hocus Pocus holiday show, Halloween show. It's her, Scarlet Envy, and Alexis Michelle.
Go to that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they're touring and will be in Provincetown for Spooky Bear weekend.
Ooh, perfect. Delightful.
If I remember correctly.
I also went to the final Showgirls where Cocktail was named Showgirl of the Year.
Work.
Cocktail also won the Golden Plunger at the Miss Fagbash Awards this past Wednesday.
Is that a P-Town EGOT?
She's 3/4 of the way. I would say that the Golden Plunger is the Tony Award. It's the hardest one to win of the P-Town EGOT.
Because it's a year's worth of really hard work.
She got them all in the same season.
Wow.
She won Bearded Mistress first, then she won Showgirl of the Year, then she won Golden Plunger. All she really needs is the official title of Miss Fagbash, which she's gunning for next year. Look out, everybody. Cocktail is it. She's winning everything.
That really is the P-Town EGOT.
I know. This one, you won a Peabody Award and a Kennedy Center Honors.
But
everything.
James won.
Yes, James the Elder.
Yeah.
So this is going to make me sound like an idiot, and somebody's probably going to hate me after this. But there were so many people at Fagbash that I could not see what was happening on the stage, on the dance floor. And so when they were like, Miss Fagbash is James the Elder. And I turned to the person next to me. I was like, is that James Cerny? I was like, who's James the Elder? And that person was like, get out of here.
Yeah. Literally.
You have no idea what's going on in here. And I was like, I really did not know.
He is our perennial Bearded Mistress contestant.
Really?
Yeah.
James the Elder?
Yeah. And it is always amazing for Bearded Mistress, but I feel like his style of performance really lends itself to Miss Fagbash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to James the Elder and Cocktail. I hope you win next year, Cocktail.
Were you at Miss Fagbash? I love James's number.
Well, that's just, I couldn't see any of them. There were so many people. I could not see anything down there, and I didn't want to push my way through. And Ben Riskin was like, just volunteer to do the lights. And then you're basically in the front row. And I was like, why didn't I think of that?
That is very smart.
Next year, I'm doing the lights.
But he did Crush. I can't remember the woman who sings it, but it's like from the late 90s, like
Jennifer Page. It's just,
yes, which is one of my favorite songs ever. And then at the very end, he took out tiny little cans of Crush, which it's just a little Crush.
Oh my god.
Genius.
Did he shake them up and spray them on everybody?
I wish. That's very fag bash.
Yeah, that's
But I heard it was a phenomenal show. Congratulations to everyone who performed. And then on Tuesday, I hosted the debate watch party here at the brewery, which was absolutely insane. I think it's more people than I've ever seen in this building.
Really?
Yeah, which I was like, yeah, it'll be a cute, fun little crew. We've done watch parties for different things at the brewery in the past, and they were really fun. But this was like, we were stuffed in here like sardines. And at first everyone was a little nervous, which I think everyone was for the debate. And then as things started moving along and we realized how the debate was going to go, I think people started having a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, it was nerve-wracking at the
Did you watch the debate?
I did. I was at Tammy's wedding earlier in the day in Truro, and I was like, let's make sure we're back in time to watch this shit show.
Yeah.
And I was tired, so I actually slept for the first half hour. And when I wake up, I think that's when it started to get like really good.
Yeah.
The like eating pets and all that stuff started coming out like right around the half an hour mark.
Well, people were really nervous, and I was like, I'm not nervous at all. And they're like, why? I'm like, Trump's gonna act like an idiot, and Kamala is gonna do a really great job.
I'm glad you were sure of that.
I mean, there's no chance she wouldn't be like, I felt like there was no chance she was going to not be outrageously prepared, and that's exactly what it seemed like. I was happy that she was willing to goad him a little. She brought up his crowd sizes, said that people leave in the middle out of boredom. And you could literally like see the eye twitch from him, like him getting all riled up. It was really fun.
It's a circus.
Yeah.
But the problem, I want to ask everybody that watched it, everyone, did anyone change? Was anyone's mind changed from watching it? No. So like the people that love him are still going to love him. The people that love her are still going to love her. It was a spectacle. I don't know that I know a single person who was more informed of anything or whose mind was changed even a little bit one way or the other. So let's do another one.
Yeah. I don't think the best part is like, so after the debate, they go to the spin room, and usually you have like surrogates who are your spin. Like Kamala had Tim Walz, like I'm probably Pete Buttigieg, people like that, like people close to you that are going to go and be like, wow, Kamala did so good. Which was true to most people who watched it. And then Trump weirdly like stumbled out there, and there was no like setup for him. So he didn't have a microphone. The secret security was holding everyone back. There was no clear audio from anywhere to be had. It was really, really bizarre. And he's like, we're getting polls back. 95% of people are saying I won. I was like, girl, what?
95% of the people at Mar-a-Lago. So there's even 5% of people at Mar-a-Lago who know Kamala won. I have a friend at work. You know that friend at work who does this every time?
Guess. I'm just kidding.
Who was like, so she really bit it, huh? Trump did such a great job, huh? Kamala really sucked at the debate. Right? And I was like, I won't even talk to somebody who still pronounces it that way. We're too far into this to still be saying Kamala. But then you watch, and all the like, you know, the people that they interview on the street, they're like, they don't know how to say her name still.
I think do. I feel like I feel like they do it to, I don't know,
to get this reaction out of people like me. I'm like, stop saying it like that.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is they were interviewing Reince Priebus. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
You would think he would be sensitive to people and pronouncing names right, considering I imagine he's had his name mispronounced many times. But he was saying Kamala. Oh, he was saying Kamala.
It's hard to say it wrong on purpose.
Right. He was saying Kamala over and over again, and the commentator who was interviewing him, he's like, yeah, so Kamala, I guess we'll see how Trump pronounces that tonight. And he was like, right, Kamala. Like she called him out. It was so great.
Good.
Yeah. But it was eating pets. He just kept pivoting to immigration, which I think is his hot button issue. I think
it's a perceived weakness for her, and so I mean, any playbook would have had you going at her for that. He just didn't do it very well.
Well, also it's like if you know the facts, it's really not. Considering there was a bill to add, and I'm glad she made this point, to add 1,500 people to the border. There was this big bill. The people running the border endorsed it, saying this would be great for us, and then Trump called people and killed the bill.
And then when David Muir was like, "Why did you do that?" He wouldn't answer that question.
But I'm glad Kamala also called him out on that. And the reason you did that is you would rather run on a problem than be part of the solution. And that's exactly what it is. If it was a real problem, he would have backed that bill because it would have been good for the problem. But he doesn't. He likes there being a problem so that he can run on it and so that he can be the one to fix it. It's really fucked up. And if that is your mindset as a president, you should not be the president. You should always be doing what's best for the country. And if you think what's best for the country is being tougher on the border, whether it's a president who is a Democrat who gets that done, you should be for that.
Yes. There's just a lot of reasons that he shouldn't be president. I mean, like, that's just one of the reasons that. I mean, I feel bad because did you see what Peter Toto posted like right after the debate?
No.
His whole post was like, if there's anyone out there who thinks after watching that Donald Trump is a smart person who should be president, you shouldn't be allowed to open a bank account or drive a car. You should be in a conservatorship. You are stupid.
Yeah. And it's also, I almost respect people who are voting for Trump more than the people that are like, I still don't know. I'm just like, what? I'm like, because, and people are using an analogy like, oh, do you want a tuna fish sandwich that's not very good? Or do you want, like, for people that are looking at the Democratic Party and being like, that's not exactly what I want. Right. Would you rather have a tuna fish sandwich that isn't very good or eat a pile of dog shit with glass shards in it? You know what I mean? It's like, and from someone who is on the more liberal leaning side, has always voted for Democrats, like, I understand that analogy. But even if you take away the like, oh, one is bad and one is good, they're just so different.
Right.
Whether you think one side is bad or one side is good, they're just so different. The fact that you can't make a decision is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I understand there are people who in my mind are unintelligent who think Trump it would be good. I respect that more than someone's like, I'm still not sure. Like, that really, truly blows my mind.
Yeah. So maybe in that way, some people came away being like, I at least can see how different they are from each other now.
Yeah.
I hope that's what people found.
Or something. Yeah. Let's do the weather.
The weather? Okay.
Let's stop in with Sean. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do the weather. We'll stop in with Sean.
Good morning, boys, and happy Friday the 13th. We're in for another stunning day here in town as we enjoy this fantastic stretch of September sunshine. We've got a few scattered clouds at the moment, but they'll clear up soon, giving way to a beautiful high of 77 degrees, though it'll feel more like a warm 80. As for the weekend, it's shaping up to be just as spectacular with more of this perfect weather continuing into next week. It's no wonder so many people call September their favorite month here. With days like these, it's hard to argue. So whatever your plans are, make sure to carve out some time to get outside and soak up the sun. Tides are in your favor for both boy beach trips and late night activities, so make the most of it. Just remember, these days won't last forever. The cooler, darker months are right around the corner. And speaking of special moments, don't miss the full harvest moon on Tuesday, rising just after sunset and reaching its peak illumination at 10:34 p.m. Eastern. This supermoon will appear larger and brighter as it reaches its closest point to Earth in its orbit. With the weather looking great, it's the perfect night for a beach bonfire or a memorable evening under the stars. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. For those of you in town, I will see you at tea. Boys, back to you at the brewery.
Another glorious day. Thank you, Sean Naughton.
Yeah, the weather has been good. I did check the weather, and it said that it's going to be highs in the 70s for the next 10 days.
That's amazing.
Mostly sunny for the foreseeable future. It really is towny summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just water your gardens. It's not going to rain. You have to tend to your gardens.
It really wasn't a rainy summer at all.
No, I didn't have one like rained out shift where I was like, oh, you know, like at the Red Inn anyway, people will come and stay and not go. So that when the next batch of people come, there's just too many people because nobody wants to leave.
Yeah, usually it kind of empties between happy hour and dinner. And the worst is when it starts raining at the end of happy hour because no one will leave, but you like have to get everyone in for their dinner reservations.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, we'll just stay and drink. And it's like, I'm like, you can't. Yeah. I don't know what
You're
to tell
keeping
you.
us out. I'm like, well,
yes.
Yeah, there's reservations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really spectacular weather summer.
Yeah.
Lots of beach days.
I hope to get to the beach or pool once or twice before. I feel like I should have gone yesterday because it was so nice.
Are those pool parties that were happening all summer, are any of them continuing through September?
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask. I know Helltown does one on Wednesdays. I'll have to ask. I feel like it's still pool weather, so I hope. Oh, just kidding. It was their last one.
Oh, thank you, Helltown Kitchen, for having a pool party every week.
Yeah. I was just very nervous to go to a pool party hosted by a fitness group. You know? For me, I'm just like, I don't think that's for me. Yeah.
Speaking of things that are still going on, the Red Inn is still doing happy hour every single day at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, towny
Really?
summer
Every
happy
day?
hour. Yes.
When do you guys go to?
I don't know yet. I think at least for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And if you want it to keep going, go.
Yeah.
And make it worth their while to stay open
coming,
longer.
If people keep coming, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think the last full week of Everyday Tea has passed. Is that so? So this Monday, 3 days from now, will be the first Monday with no tea since May.
Yeah.
So you've got weekends through Spooky Bear to go to tea dance as well.
Yeah, there is still so much going on in Provincetown, especially on the weekends, but even during the week, there is so much fun to be had. So come.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Swim for Life was last Saturday. Town was abuzz. They've raised more than $300,000 for their 12 nonprofits that they support. It includes the AIDS support group of Cape Cod, Helping Our Women, and tons of other great organizations. There were hundreds of swimmers, 222 swimmers did the 1.2 mile. I think there was about 20 that did the half mile. 41 did it at Great Pond. Those are for the people that saw that shark video at Boy Beach last week. And 15 swam in place. I heard it was a really great event. And congratulations, raised $300,000. That's crazy. I'm always like, where does this money come from?
People raise money as teams.
Yeah.
You like it's pledges and sponsors. I heard the water was really, really cold that day. So there were a couple of there were ambulances on hand to handle and take care of people with hypothermia and general frigidness.
Yeah.
But they did raise a lot of money. So congratulations, Jay and team, and to everybody that swam. You're going to do it next year, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm down to raise money. I don't want to get.
You're going to swim in place. Be one of those people.
Look at the media team kayak.
That scares me too.
What?
I don't like the water.
What? You go to the beach every chance you get.
Yeah, and I go up to my waist and I dive in a little, but I think what I nailed down is thalassophobia. It's like fear of the expanse and fear of the unknown. It's not so much everyone's like, oh, you're scared of sharks. I'm like, I'm really not scared of sharks. It's the what's in there. And it's not sharks, it's just the not knowing what's in there.
Right.
And big things.
Big things.
Yeah. I remember one time I was in New York, I turned the corner and there was just one of those giant tanker ships like right there. And I literally fell backwards and it was horrifying to me to see something that big.
Like that cruise ship last week.
Yeah.
Was there a big cruise ship in town? How big? Oh, that's good. No.
Oh,
Because they dump their poop.
just because who needs 5,000 people dropped into the middle of town?
I feel
Looking
like
for taffy.
in the fall the taffy store loves that.
It's taffy month here in Provincetown.
There has been a sharp drop off in people on the street when it comes to barking, but I do feel like the people are friendlier. And I feel like it's because in the summer you get so many people who are here for what they want to do.
Right.
And a lot of that is like, oh, we're gonna go to tea, we're gonna go to dinner, we're gonna drink. And some people are, you can literally, if you can watch them when you go, oh, tonight, 9 o'clock, The Devil Wears Payless, you can watch them not even for a second consider going. You know what I mean?
But now,
yeah, people are like, "Ooh, what's this?" People are more looking for things to do, which is really nice. Yeah, we had a huge crowd on Wednesday, 70 people.
That's great.
Yeah, especially on a Wednesday in September. It's wild. I think you only have 10 more opportunities to see The Devil Wears Payless. It has moved earlier. I think from now to the end, our Wednesday and Sunday shows are at 7:30, which is a very reasonable time. And then Friday nights is 9 o'clock, which is a very reasonable time for Friday nights.
It is very reasonable.
Yeah.
Also, 10 days from now, Monday, September 23rd, I have my cabaret show back at the post office at 9 o'clock. The ones in the spring were at 10. I have a lot of working friends who are like, I can't go to a show at 10 on a Monday, but you can go to a show at 9 on a Monday.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun.
Who's on it?
I can't tell you.
Why?
Because it's a surprise. There's 3 guests, and they're all very incredibly talented, wonderful friends of mine who I'm excited to share with everybody.
No, that is really exciting.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, perfect. I get the inside scoop.
Always.
Careful, I am member of the press. Speaking of press, Jamie and the Devil Wears Payless was in the Provincetown magazine this week, so pick up a copy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So have you decided what you're doing in the fall now?
No.
Why not?
I have too many balls in the air. I'm waiting for them to drop to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you do have year-round housing, please reach out to me.
You're looking for year-round housing.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. My current housing is being shaken up.
Uh-huh.
And I think if I tried really hard and worked really hard, I could keep it. But I'm thinking maybe it's a sign for a change.
Okay.
I've been here for
So
10
you're
years.
not leaving for the whole winter,
We'll see. Also, I'm waiting for balls to drop.
but you're looking for year-round housing so that you can leave it for the whole winter? That's what it sounds like.
If all my balls drop and smash and are not usable balls anymore, then there is a potential that I will be leaving town.
Let's keep this analogy going.
But
How
some
many
of the
balls
balls-
are there?
a few, so many balls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for things to get figured out.
Okay.
Yeah, which like that's part of fall is like figuring it out. And
Absolutely.
Where are you going this winter? Portugal.
Portugal, that's not till March. I think we may make a return to Puerto Vallarta.
I work. I've never been, but that is one of my balls that are in there.
That was, I mean, the last time I was in Puerto Vallarta was 2 winters ago when Sharks Creek was there, and I just ran into Eric Maul walking on the beach, and then we spent the afternoon together.
Oh.
I know. So there, and probably Palm Springs to
Yes.
say hi to our friends there.
I didn't leave P-Town once last winter.
No?
Not recommended.
And they had flights then. That's why they canceled them, because you didn't take them.
I wouldn't take that flight anyway, and for no reason except I'm a scaredy cat.
I was on one once. I'm sure I've told this story on this show before, where it was so foggy that you could not see. If I sat in the front seat, you couldn't see the very front of the plane, and you could not see the end of the wing.
That's
it was so
horrifying.
foggy that you could see like 1 foot of the wing, and then it disappeared into fog. And I was like, "We're still gonna go?" And he was like, "It's on autopilot, basically." I was like, "Well, then what the hell are you doing here?" He was like, "They're gonna get us there. Don't worry." And then he like, no, he didn't do that.
Oh my
but
God.
it was very
They're like, if anything happens, grab the wheel.
It's a remote control car. They fly you there in the fog. It's just wind and rain that scare them, apparently.
That
Didn't
scares me too.
two Delta planes just crash into each other while taxiing on a runway the other day?
I don't think they crashed. I think he had to slam on his brakes really hard so they didn't crash.
No, I think
They straightened up.
they bumped into each other. But no one was hurt.
This
Yeah.
is why.
There was touching. This
I
is
know
why what?
I don't like. In the show I've been like, I don't fly, I don't swim, I don't get on a boat. And then you're like, I wonder why you didn't leave Provincetown last year.
Well, you even if you are here all year, you have to like take a little trip.
Oh yeah, I went to like Providence.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, totally. I was in Providence, Boston, but I got to keep my tan up this year.
Where are you going to do that?
Wilys.
Where?
Wilys Gym.
Oh, right.
What?
They
What happened?
closed?
They closed the tanning bed at Wilys Gym.
Closing Wilys Gym.
They're closing
that's such
Wilys
a
Gym.
bummer.
There's a lot of news that we haven't
I
covered yet.
know. Sorry, it's been a week.
It has been a week.
Yeah, when I heard the news yesterday, I kind of checked out for the rest of the day and didn't do as much research. And people are like, "Yeah, we're bored. We know. We can tell you didn't do any research for the show." Yeah, I do want to give a big congratulations to my friend Severity Stone. She's a drag queen out of Boston and has always been my favorite spooky queen. And she is currently just announced that she is going to be contestant on Dragula. Dragula is basically, if you had to describe it, you could say that it's like spooky RuPaul's Drag Race. It's now in its 6th season. I know they've done some all-star seasons as well. Severity is one of those drag queens that the second it was announced the first season, she has been plagued by people being, do you know what you should do? You should be on Dragula, because she is she's a spooky queen. But big congratulations and good luck to you on your run on Dragula. She's the second Boston queen. Violencia ! Has been on Dragula as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them.
When does that season begin?
I think shortly. They just announced the cast this past week. And Severity is kind of a Boston Providence girl, and she comes to P-Town a lot. She's done Showgirls a few times.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So I will be rooting for them.
In case you're wondering about restaurants that are still open, restaurants that may be closing for this season, I had breakfast at Yokorea the other day, and it was a Wednesday. So they're still doing breakfast 7 days a week at Yokorea. and it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Have you had the cowboy carnitas?
No, that sounds good though.
Well, like chilaquiles is like all this stuff on like
Wet tortilla
chips. Yeah, on tortilla chips. The cowboy carnitas is on tater tots. It was
I'm
so crispy and delicious. All this really amazing carnitas, over easy eggs, fresh pico de gallo, sour cream, salsa verde, it was cotija. Like it was just.
I like to know
so
all the
good.
restaurants you can get tater tots at.
Uh-huh.
So please put your favorite tater tot restaurant in the comments.
There. Who?
Where? Connie didn't get
Connie's?
tater tots?
Yeah. Oh,
See,
yeah.
I always walk by Connie's to go to Mean Burger to get tater tots.
Tina Turner tots.
What's on them?
Ooh. Oh, it's gonna be a fat fall, everybody.
Yeah, tater tots. Where else? There's another place I get tater tots.
Speaking of fat fall, I would like to say thank you to Bob Lowell of Portland, Maine, who has watched this show loyally since its inception and finally came down to say hi in person.
Oh, no way.
Bob was at the Red Inn this past week, and sometimes you can tell when it's somebody who's
Did you
like,
say, speaking of getting fat in the
yes,
fall?
just wait.
I'm so
I'll get
confused.
there. I'll get to the point of this story. So he's sitting there and he has this smile on his face, and I'm like, this has got to be somebody that watches our show, because I could tell that he was waiting. He'd be like, hey, it's me. And he was like, hey, it's Bob Lowell from Portland, Maine. He goes, I got to tell you, and don't take this the wrong way, but what they say is true. The camera does add 10 pounds. You're so much thinner in person. And I was like, there is a wrong way to take this, and I'm not going to take it like that.
How's that going?
Thank you, Bob. I look fat on TV. If I'm just this giant blob right now on your laptop, it's because the camera is adding 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's like 2 Jabba the Hutt sitting behind
I
the
know.
desk, apparently.
Thanks, Bob. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for watching every week.
Oh, that's fun.
How many cameras are on you guys?
Oh my God.
I know.
I did go to the gym this week.
Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to make healthy habits. You said you
You
would.
said
That's
you
the
would.
first step, Ethan. I'm trying. Sometimes I wait to start my good habits until I am absolutely miserable and mad at myself about mid-October, but I'm trying to get ahead of it this year.
Yeah, stay
I
ahead
already
of
said
it.
I was like, I'm not going to gain all the weight I usually do in the fall, and I didn't. I gained it before Labor Day.
What? It comes back so
Yeah.
fast.
Well, literally, like the second Carnival and Labor Day, I was kind of just like, I need to stay home a little, rejuvenate, eat all my favorite foods, because that's how I self-care. But I ate a little too much of my favorite foods.
And also, as much as I complain about how hot it is to work in July, you do lose weight that way. Like
No,
all
totally.
those 12-hour bar shifts where I was sweating the entire time, the pounds fly off.
Yeah, I also didn't have the taste this year. My summer was a little more low-key than usual. I didn't work as hard.
That is interesting, because when I said to you last week that you didn't work as hard, you were like, acting in a show is work too. And I was like, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
it yourself.
I did work hard, just not as hard.
That's what I said. But when I said it, you didn't like it.
Well, also, I want to add a big congratulations to the staff at Danny's Queer Bar in Boston. Danny's Queer Bar is a sapphicaly inclined bar on Boylston Street, right in Boston. They opened last night, and our very own Sam Sewell was there to partake. Sam took a couple pictures. It looked like it was a riotous crowd. And I love to see our queer spaces centered around women. It's
On
really
Boylston
exciting.
Street?
Yeah.
Which neighborhood is that?
That is right in the smack dab middle of Boston. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the poorhouse isn't the poorhouse anymore?
Now it's,
At least it's something cooler.
yeah.
But I have
exactly.
so many memories
Me
from the
too.
poorhouse in graduate school.
My favorite memory at the poorhouse is when I went with my friend Alicia, and she got so drunk that the only way to make people not be mad at her is to tell everyone that it was her 21st birthday, even though she was 25. And that turned into her being thrust onto the bar and dancing while people chanted 21.
They made her even more annoying, but
Yeah,
loved it because they were part
rather
of it.
than being mad at her for bumping and stumbling. But I was like, it's her 21st birthday, it's okay, and that works. I don't think that would work for me anymore, but it worked then.
Well, I
Wow,
mean,
Mark.
you could pass for
An
21 in the
emphatic no.
Fantastics, right? Or
19.
19. No, but they would serve these $3 draft beers. I swear the glasses were this tall and this nice cold frosty mug. And we were sitting there one night, and my friend Christine, who I was in grad school with, she would laugh. She went to laugh, and she came down and chipped half of her front tooth fell off. And it was just 3 of us at the table, and we're all laughing. And she's like, and it was like gone. And I was like, what the fuck just happened to you? You're a toothless grad student drinking $3 Bass ales. The good old days.
That's like in Broad City when she bites a jawbreaker. She's like, oh, you just gotta bite it. It gets to the middle of it and her tooth flies off. And they just look at each other and scream. I feel like that's the only
I
way
have
can-
nightmares
me
about
too, me too.
losing my teeth.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody? I think
think-
that's a
I
common
think it
nightmare.
means something.
Yeah.
Like you're losing your wisdom.
Really?
I think that is what
I thought it had to
means.
do with money problems.
Oh.
So that's conventional wisdom. At any rate, I'm gonna have. Now we're all gonna have this dream tonight, Ethan. I'm sorry.
But anyway, stop by and support this really amazing business right in the heart of Boston.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
On my next trip to Boston,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Especially when there's news of gay bars closing around the country, especially bars centered on women closing around the country. I think it's like there's like 30 lesbian bars in the entire country.
31.
Exactly. So to see more opening, thriving, be sure to support it. I think it is I don't know them personally, but I follow them on social media and they seem like a really incredible group of women behind this.
Mhm.
And I think it's awesome. I'm gonna definitely stop by respectfully as soon as I'm in Boston. Yeah. I'll bring Sam so I can be like, I'm with her. I'm with her.
Queer.
Yes. I just want to do my best to make sure I'm respectful. Living in Provincetown.
Now.
Living in Provincetown, there's so many people who come through that aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're not gonna believe what happened to a coworker of mine the other night. So listen, I hope I don't sound like I complain about the people that come to where I work very much. I complained about 2 people this year. I had 2 bad customers this year. And bad at the bar is not the same as bad at a table. These
No.
waiters put up with some outrageous behavior.
And I feel like as a bartender, you're able to show your personality a little more and you can get away with a little more.
Yeah.
You can be like, look how charming I am. You're an asshole. Ha ha, charming.
And you're also in control more of what's going on around you.
Mhm.
The servers are at the mercy of, that's why they used to be called waiters. You're waiting for that person to make up their mind. You're waiting for the bartender to make the drink. You're waiting for a lot of people to do a lot of things. My friend who was working went up to a table. It was a couple of older gay men. She is a young lesbian. And she's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. And they were like, they started yelling at her about like something that had to do with the reservation that they made.
You're like, oh, honey.
She was like, I'm so sorry about that. Unfortunately, I don't have any control over that. And they go, this isn't actually a two-way conversation. Can you imagine saying that to us?
I just wanted to yell at you.
Yeah. And she was like, she almost started crying. And I'm like, this is the thing. You have to grow a thicker skin. You can't let strangers make you cry over their attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, that really didn't have anything to do with me.
That's
Just y'all.
That's like what I talk about barking. People are like, it just hurts my feelings when people ignore me. Our favorite is when people do this, which people do a lot. And I'm like, oh, you just have to remember they're not real people. And they're not. Sorry.
No, so then the first thing she did was go and get somebody else to take over that table, which is a good thing.
Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden was also at summer camp. She
Ah.
competed in it was the weakest twink.
The weakest twink.
Yeah, which is just like a trivia, like a multiple choice.
That's
it was so
fun.
fun. And Jonathan had the music and everything. It was so good.
I want to go.
Yeah.
What time does it start? Is that a late show?
9 to 11.
9 to 11.
It's not really a show. It's like you can come in and out. It's just like entertainment at the bar. Like it fills in it's in the same slot as like a piano bar would be.
Yeah.
Except
at the
it's
PO.
a drag queen with a microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off next Saturday for a wedding. I'm going to sneak over to the PO and see JJP.
And Jonathan Joseph Peters, a lot of people don't like, or Vivian Fontaine, a lot of people don't like being included in drag shows, but I don't want to say she's nice, but she's not mean. Like she's not gonna like try to embarrass you or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we move on to our traffic report? No?
No, not.
Oh. Okay. Go.
Giselle's last show is this Tuesday.
Yeah.
At 9.
Yeah.
Shows are starting to end. I think it's Varla and Dina's last show, Ethan, tonight.
Tonight, Varla and Dina are done for the season.
Hillary's last show this Sunday. I hate this. I didn't get to see any of these because I have shows that night.
Giselle's last show is Tuesday at 9.
Yeah.
So over the next 4 or 5 days, a lot of shows are ending. It's
Yeah.
your last chance to see these things. Come on out and see
Yeah.
them.
And 10 more opportunities to see The Devil Wears Payless. I was pushing it a lot on trivia. Like I did a round of Meryl Streep characters, and I was like, by the end, I was like, I'm not pushing this really hard because we're not selling enough tickets. I'm pushing it really hard because I'm really proud of it, and everyone who comes has a really great time. So come see it. And we're also like, next time you see people begging you to see a show in the street, go see it.
No, go like this.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a fly on you and they were helping you.
Well, it was funny. One of my friends at the beginning of the season is like, oh, I get so anxious around barkers. Like, what's the best way to interact with barkers? And I'm like, there's two amazing things you can say to a barker, which is, one is, oh, I already have tickets. Like, that's great. And also, oh, I already saw it. It was great. Like, those are the two best options.
Oh, yeah. Even if they're lies. Just say one of those two
Don't lie. Jamie does this thing where he goes, oh, no way. How did it end?
things. That's rude, Jamie. Give the person an out. They're trying not to be dismissive.
See the show.
Well, see the show, sure.
Yeah.
But as you just said, you can't see every show.
That's
There's
true,
a bunch of
that's
shows
true.
you didn't see, a bunch of shows I didn't see. And now it's time for our traffic report starring
Jesus.
Anne Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Take it away, Anne.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching the traffic report for Provincetown, Massachusetts, with me, the lady of the streets, Anne Hutchinson. And there may very well be a change in traffic in Provincetown this winter because Cape Cod Air has recently announced the cancellation of its flights between Boston and Provincetown. This has created a little bit of a panic amidst some members of the community who only physically have to go to work once in a while. They, shocking, may have to take the bus into the city like everyone else. And though this is tragic, Cape Cod Air has cited the loss of hundreds of thousands of dollars each winter for this cancellation. And the Provincetown town government has expressed upset about this cancellation. But listen, we all know money doesn't grow on trees. If money grew on trees, I would fly everywhere because I would have morphed myself into a bird in order to live in the money trees. I mean, is it a bird? Is it a plane? Or is it Anne just collecting? But if you get to fly everywhere because you once in a while rent a private jet, just know that you can still use the Provincetown airport this winter, but you will have to pay the town of Provincetown's landing fee, which could conceivably be shared with Cape Cod Air so they could offer commercial flights. But what do I know? I'm just a lady in the street with two somewhat firmly planted feet on the ground. So thank you so much for listening to whatever the fuck it is I just said, and happy weekend.
And for that insightful and entertaining traffic report.
Yes. Please welcome Chris and Fermin from what?
Hi, welcome back.
You're so much thinner in person.
So first of all, what is Wleet Harbor's Actors Theater? And we have a premiere opening tomorrow night at the Wleet Harbor's Actors Theater. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know about the theater first, or
Sure. So, what is, we celebrate our 40th anniversary this year.
Mm-hmm.
We were founded in 1985, and we're an award-winning, critically acclaimed professional theater right here in Wleet.
Yeah. One of our wake-up favorites was in a show, Reefer Madness, this past season. Brittany Rolfs was in that. I didn't get a chance to see it because the tail end of your show was a little COVID.
Yeah, we lost our final week of performances due to COVID outbreak, and which was just devastating.
Yeah.
Just devastating.
It was an amazing show.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what I heard. It's devastating to have to cancel any shows when you put in so much work, but to be able to have to cancel the tail end, you don't get that closure. You don't get that big celebratory last bow. Such a bummer. Yeah.
So the play.
Yeah.
You wanna know about the play? So the title of the play is Liberty Talks. And the basic conceit is that the Statue of Liberty has come to life through a supernatural event that occurred in 1983 for her. And she's been roaming Manhattan trying to find herself. And along the way, she encounters all these folks from her past and her present and perhaps her future. And she's just trying to have a dialogue with herself about her identity. So as one friend of mine described it, it's a crazy play.
Yeah.
But I think, one of the things that was, I started writing it after the 2016 election. Remember that? I tried not to. So it was my therapy. So, and particularly there was an incident that happened with that person's, someone in his administration, Ken Cuccinelli, who declared that the poem, the new Colossus, give us your charge, your poor, your whole masses, didn't refer to poor immigrants, that it was only for white European immigrants that were educated, right? I know, there's not enough Valium in the whole world, right? Yeah. So I started jotting down ideas, and then that evolved, and what was, and along the way, I discovered a lot of very interesting things about the statue, because basically in school, we're just taught, she was a present from the government of France. Wrong. She was crowdfunded by a bunch of kind of left-wing abolitionist French people, particularly a fellow named Edouard de la Boulaye, who was intimate friends with Abraham Lincoln and had counseled him during the Civil War. And so really his main goal was to promote American-style democracy in France, because they had just ended the reign of Napoleon III, and they didn't want another monarchy. Neither do we. And so his idea was to create this present for the United States, but also as a symbol of solidarity between the two countries. But she was crowdfunded. And then the pedestal was, the money for the pedestal was raised by mainly the efforts of Joseph Pulitzer, who published a newspaper called The World, the Pulitzer. And it's interesting, he created a kind of a super PAC of guys that went out and solicited funds from everyday people. I mean, just like us, and people would contribute what they could, 25 cents, a dime or whatever, but you got your name in the paper, right? And it's all so we meet Liberty, and she's at a crossroads, kind of like maybe a metaphor.
Who's playing Lady Liberty?
Lady Liberty is being played by an amazing actor from New York, Brandon Curry, who's also been in a couple of Hulu shows. I can't remember the name right now, but amazing, brilliant actor. The whole cast is brilliant. We have an exceptional director, Janice Goldberg from New York, and of course, Chris Ostrom. And the way this all came about was you're talking about things to do in the fall here in Provincetown and on the Outer Cape, because I think we're just like one big community. And there's so much to do, in the off season. So one of the things that does happen here is the Truro Playwright Collective, which is a group of local, Cape Cod playwrights. And between October and May every year for the last 3 years, we've been presenting new works by local playwrights at the Truro Library on the third Saturday of each month. And we've been getting 100 people for play readings. So this play had its reading in 2023, I think it was. Yeah, and Chris and Donna Ward came to see the reading, and they left. They never called me. I thought they didn't like it. It's like, whatever. And then what happened?
Well, I think what you didn't know was that we stood in the parking lot for about a half hour after the reading and just went on and on about, well, what about this? What about this? How do we do this? How do we saw that. We saw the vision of what this piece could be. And it took us about a year to actually, move forward with that idea. But I emailed Fermin one day and I said, hey, I'm a terrible person. I never said thank you for inviting me to that reading. Oh, by the way, what do you think we're going to do it next fall?
And I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll do it. But one of the things that I tried to do with the play is not exclude anybody. This is not a partisan play. This is a play about really, part of what we learn in the play is, a lot of the struggles that we were facing as a nation, and some of the perceptions that Frederick Bartholdi, the sculptor, he came to America to try to pitch the idea of the statue to the U.S. government. He really didn't know anybody in the United States, and he recorded a lot of his impressions of how we were behaving as a country in his diary. Girl, a lot has changed. People dressed in black running around New York, buying and selling things, and so I think it speaks to how history really repeats itself. And I'm big on history and learning history, and if we look to history, it can help us perhaps not make the same mistakes we've done in the past. And like the current immigration questions and anxieties and problems that we're having as a country, we haven't really gotten immigration right from the get-go. So these are some of the things we look at in the play. And of course, it's funny and zany and hopefully entertaining. So I'm hoping that people will come out. I'm hoping people will also realize how important it is we vote this fall if we want to keep that democracy that Edouard La Boulaye and Frederick Bartholdi so admired in the United States. I'm an immigrant. My parents brought me to this country because we were in Cuba. It's a dictatorship. I've done dictatorship. I don't want to do it again. I've had my fill, So
what brought you to P-Town?
My husband. we met in South. He was a Cape Air pilot. You were talking about
No
Cape Air.
way.
I remember one time we were in the plane. I was sitting in the pilot seat thing, and it's pouring. It's coming down sheets of water, and I'm like, "We're not taking off, right?" He's like, "Why not?" And sure enough, we took off. Like, I couldn't see the runway. I couldn't see the wing. I couldn't see anything. So we were talking about that earlier. I like totally identified.
We're alive.
And we're alive. We made it. We made it. Oh, by the way, for those of you who want to come to the Outer Cape or Provincetown in particular, there is a great mode of transportation. Not Uber, but Lyft from Boston Airport to Provincetown is about $160. So if you're doing a share, with somebody,
2 people,
it's
$80.
very economical. So come visit us. Come see plays. Come see, Well, I can come on as a consultant whenever you want.
What's the run of the show? How long do we have to
Run until October 6th.
Okay.
Awesome. What I know it's probably a little premature, but what's coming from Wellfleet Harbor's Actor Theater?
Well, we slow down in the winter, but we have some things in the works, and we'll be announcing our 2025 season probably early January.
I always see you at the 24-hour Playwrights Festival.
I have done those. And if you like some of those that you saw there, my turn at the Truro Playwright Collective this year is December, the second week in December, I think it is. And I'm resurrecting a couple of those, and retooling them like we do. You're an actor and a writer, and you know how these things go. You resurrect old material, and I'm retooling some of it because those have been a lot of fun.
Right.
But oh God, writing a play in 5 hours overnight
with all these constraints on you.
Oh yeah, and they give you props, and you have to. But I mean, I'm very proud of our arts community here. This summer, as you guys were discussing, we've had so many great entertainment. I don't know if did you see Hey Bitch?
He did.
Oh,
I didn't get to see. I saw parts of it. She was the show before me, so I'd be barking during her show. Yeah. But so I'd always come in at the end. It was incredible.
But I mean, there's great. I mean, I think our entertainment really stepped up.
Yeah.
This summer, it was such high quality entertainment, and so much of it. And we have the Provincetown Theater that does such incredible work. David over there. We have What Theater, that is producing important and new works. The last show, Summer of 1976, by a Pulitzer playwright, was one of the most amazing and moving things. So I think it's so important that we continue to nurture our and appreciate and support our arts community out here, our performance community. The history of theater is based in community. And I think we do a really great job as a community of exalting theater and performance, and it's just a joy to watch all of it. I can't wait to see your cabaret show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Bring a book.
Bring
the weekly magazine from Stop and Shop. That would actually be helpful for your games.
That's cheating.
Oh,
don't bring that.
So one of the things about Liberty Talks, one of the things I put in the play, which I hope people connect with this, the role of Libby, as we call her in the play, is always to be played by a trans or gender fluid person of color. It is never to be played by a cisgender white person. Sorry, there's lots of other roles for you people out there. So that's one of the things. Amazing. But more importantly, who serves the tater tots with the?
Oh yeah,
Who's
Connie's.
But wait, you were talking about the chilaquiles and stuff. Where are the cowboy carnies? Yokeria. Okay.
Still doing breakfast 7 days a week.
I might go there
right after this.
You want to go?
Yeah. Let's head over to KT with our weekly horoscope.
We'll be right back.
It's KT, and this is your Friday the 13th weekly horoscope. But the astrology that we're experiencing right now isn't all that spooky. It's actually kind of the cutest. It is Venus trine Jupiter, and it is the transit dominating your weekend weather. It's a transit about good luck and opportunity to do with relationships, money, beauty, femininity.
Girl power!
It is a good time to plan major purchases. It's a good time to travel. It's a good time to invite out that friend who was always busy. It's an occasion to connect with community and to feel at ease in social situations. So overall, this is a period of harmony and maybe even joy. So that influence will peak on Saturday, but then things do get spooky next week with Tuesday's Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. Full moons are chaotic. Eclipses, even more so. They are periods marked by abrupt changes and endings, so there could be a significant goodbye or bookend chapter conclusion. With this, Saturn will be close to this full moon, indicates that there may be some tough decisions or that we might be confronted with themes of grief or grieving, so that's fine. Mercury will be opposing Saturn during this lunation, so something is going unsaid or something is being withheld, some piece of information is being held back. There is a sort of loss for words around this event, so maybe town will know peace for once. Probably not. Alrighty everybody, that is your weekly horoscope. I'm KT.
Thank you, KT. It is Friday the 13th, so be careful out there. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Friday the 13th party tonight too.
Where?
At the Crown and Anchor.
Spooky.
Bring your Jason mask and your hockey puck.
Yeah.
Hockey stick.
As things wind down in the summer, there are still so many more shows to go see. Go see Liberty Talks at Wleet Harbor's Actors Theater.
Harbor, singular. Wleet Harbor Actors Theater.
I can never remember which one is plural.
Actors.
Wleet Harbor Actors Theater.
The what? That
Yeah.
show, Fermin's show, is Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 7 and Sundays at 3 until October 6th.
Yes, go
I
get a
can go on a
ticket.
Thursday. I'm gonna go
Yes.
next Thursday.
Also, this weekend at the Provincetown Theater is Tanya O'Debra's solo show. They're bringing it back from the 4-star solo show. As we got, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. But go see that. Tanya is hilarious. I did a reading of one of her plays, Hockey Wives, through the B-Plot reading series with Eden and Peter this past winter. I'm excited to see her show. Also, get tickets for Bob's show next Monday.
Monday, September 23rd at 9 p.m. You can get tickets at postofficecafe.net.
Yes, and while you're on postofficecafe.net, you can buy tickets to one of only 10 shows left of The Devil Wears Payless.
Before you catch it in Puerto Vallarta.
We'll see. That's a ball.
That's one of the balls. Thank you guys for watching today.
A big thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, Provincetown Brewing Company, the Boat Slip, Shipwreck at the Brass Key, Provincetown Business Guild, PTV, and Provincetown Tourism. And as always, if you ever have an event or you want to come in and chat with the community, you can reach out to us, Margaret, and we will try and get you on the schedule. It is approaching the time where there's a slightly less going on, but still plenty of stuff. We just want to know about the stuff going on so that we can support it here on Wake Up in Provincetown.
Yeah, we can't know everything. So
Yeah.
if you know something's coming up and we
I
don't know
barely
about
know
it, let
anything.
us know. Just reach out.
Yeah.
Thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
And we'll see you next Friday.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.